What a zesty way to launch our Friday Night Spotlight salute this month to director and choreographer Charles Walters. And joining me is the author of a new book just out called Charles Walters, the director who made Hollywood Dance, Brent Phillips. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
What a great way to launch a career as a director with this movie. And it played at Radio City Music Hall, and everybody went to see this movie. June Allison was very popular at that time.
Absolutely. It launched her into a new stratosphere, and really starting at Radio City Music Hall for your first picture is really starting at the very top.
Now, this movie, did he do the choreography on this film?
He did all 8 of the musical sequences except for the 2 big production numbers. He didn't do the Varsity Drag, and he didn't do Pass That Peace Pipe.
Okay.
Those were done by Robert Alton, who was Chuck Walters' mentor while he was on Broadway. And what this actually did was it allowed MGM to now see, oh, we can take these director choreographers and we can start using them to create the types of musicals that Arthur Freed wanted to be able to make. And that led to Stanley Donen and Gene Kelly being able to work, and then Robert Alton to get his films, and James Donahue, and a lot of other directors, choreographers who might not have had the chance to direct. Yeah.
We should also point out that back in those days, in the 40s, that it was not unusual to have somebody come from the outside and direct a portion of a movie.
Correct.
Today, if a director gets replaced or somebody comes in, it's heralded as, you know, a big kerfuffle's going on.
Exactly.
But in those days, in studio factory days, they often shared duties and nobody thought about it.
Absolutely. It really, MGM was both a factory and a family. It was the work that counted, and people wanted the work to be as good as possible. And Charles Walters, he was always in there lending a helping hand, whether or not he would get the credit or not. As we saw in Good News, his name isn't up there for choreography, but he did 8 of those numbers.
Right.
Yeah, so, and Chuck would continue to do that for the entire career that he was at MGM.
So, stick around. Brent and I are going to be back to talk about our next film, directed by Charles Walters. This one stars Judy Garland, Fred Astaire, Peter Lawford, and one of our great early champions of TCM, Ann Miller.
Tonight on TCM's Friday Night Spotlight, Fred Astaire steps out with Judy Garland in Easter Parade. Then Ginger Rogers breaks it off with her partner in the Barclays of Broadway. And Johnny Mercer will have you wanting to be a dancing man in the Belle of New York.
Great Peck.
Judy Garland. Bill Powell.